welcome. And we're going to be talking about the new moon that's going to be happening on the 16th. And this is going to be a much needed releasing new moon. And this new moon is all about letting go. Now, we've been getting some messages, some of them mixed. We've probably been giving out some mixed messages, and it's been for some of us a bit tough because things that we normally thought would go easily for us have not flowed in that way. But that's because of this jumble of energy that's happening and the fact that we're being triggered and lots of people being triggered. So we're getting some unusual behaviours, and some of those behaviours are almost a little extreme. So I know that some of you have had some difficulties, and I've been right there with you. Stuff that I thought was just going to flow for whatever reason didn't. And I think the main reason that it hasn't been flowing is because we haven't been flowing. We haven't been in this mindset of creativeness and happiness. We've been in this mindset of and what's going on. So there's been anxiety, there's been jealousy, there's been anger, there's been disbelief, there's been some WTF moments. And what we're going to do with this new moon, or what this new moon is going to allow us to do, is to actually release those. So at the moment with this new moon, we are very, very close to Venus, and we're also close to Saturn, and those two are actually in alignment with us. And that is starting to, with us being Earth, that's creating this tension. But the tension is not there just for tension's sake. The tension is there to help us understand and learn. And it's about learning about us and about who we really are and about releasing us. So the process of learning and understanding who we are, we've got to understand that it's multifaceted and there's multiple levels to it. So we do at some level intellectually or consciously understand that something's going on. We do intellectually or consciously decide that we don't want that to be part of our life anymore. Or we are reassessing and repositioning that as we sort out our priorities and what is important to us, which is this entire phase that we're going through, an extensive entire phase that we're going through. So this new moon is actually giving us the chance to not just release it intellectually and consciously, but to actually go in and then go, okay, so we now need to release that emotionally. So we now need to release any emotional guilt or resentment or confusion or all of that away. And there's going to be a fair bit of guilt because a lot of us have been feeling really angry and upset and stressed about different things. And we felt that it's been inappropriate for us to express or allow ourselves to feel those things, angry, upset. It's not. What's inappropriate is how we express it and what that does to us. So if we deny that we are currently experiencing those emotions, all that does is we suppress them and then they're just out at inappropriate moments. And I think we're seeing a fair bit of that, not just from ourselves, but from other people. So this is a time where we really have to go live and let live. So we are now getting that stage of going, okay, I'm not happy with that. And intellectually, I've processed the fact that I'm not happy with that. Now, emotionally, I need to process where I'm at with that. And I need to then release that emotion because it's not good to carry that around with us. So we've got to do the emotional healing, we've got to do the spiritual healing, and we've got to do the energetic. And that's in the wrong order. We've got to do the emotional, and then we've got to do the energetic, and then we've got to do the spiritual. And then once we've done that, that's the release. And in some instances, it's not even healing. Healing takes place after the release. The release is a trigger for healing. So this moon that we're having, this new moon that we're having, it's about the releasing. Then that will trigger the healing. But the releasing will take that emotional pressure, take that weight, and take these constraints that we've been feeling under. And feeling constrained is unbelievably tiring. It's unbelievably draining, and it just hinders your ability to respond naturally to what's going on. and respond in a considered way to what's going on. So this is what this new moon is about. It's about emotionally releasing and energetically releasing all of that garbage that we've been coming to grips with, the decisions we've been making. Yeah, that's important. Yeah, that's not important. I'm not bothered by that. I don't really like that. Ooh, that's just got to go. All of that. There is an emotion attached to all of that, and we have to release that as well. Now, that emotion for us can be obligation, guilt, could, should, woulda, all of those. And it's coming through. I'll just show you the stones. We've got the two stones here that talk about our true self. They've both come up. So what we've got to do is heal so that we can be true to who we are. We've got to release to create the space for healing. New moon, lots of releasing. One of these, fear of other people's belief. It's okay to stand up for what you believe in. It's okay to take a stand. It's okay to be not okay about some of the things that you've been experiencing as well. It's time to release all of that. And the other thing about that is these limiting self-beliefs or limiting beliefs about how things should be, how things could be. And the other thing to release is the fact that we are not superhuman. We're just people. And there's a limit to what we can do. And there's a time to push and there's a time not to push. And what we've got to start getting back into is that flow of that. And that's very easy to get lost, isn't it? And when people are triggering things around us, it's really easy to get triggered by other people's triggering or other people being triggered. So heaps of learning about us. So let's release all of that emotional guilt, all of that emotional confusion, all of that emotional weight, all of that emotional resentment. Let's just release all of that out. And if you think, oh, I don't have that, I'm too high a being to have that, I'm calling call bullshit. Absolute bullshit. The very fact that you're going, I'm too high a being to have those emotional aspects just means that you're denying the fact that you're human. Get over yourself. We're all human. We all make mistakes. We all carry emotional baggage. It's just that some of us are brave enough to admit that we do and to get on with it and to stop pretending that we've got everything under control. So let's do this releasing. Oh, just dropped a card, which means we have to be honest with ourselves and to be clear. Being honest with yourself is really, really hard. And I think that's the other thing we're learning. It's really hard to be honest with yourself. It's much easier and sometimes much more convenient to lie. And we do that for the best of reasons. And that's because we're too afraid to have a look at ourselves spiritually and energetically in the mirror because we mightn't like what we see. I'm just going to tell you, I like what I see. I like you. I like what I'm seeing of you. You're going to like what you're seeing of you. And don't expect yourself to be 100% perfect because you never are. Just going to drop down, get the card. Ooh. Ace of Cups. Cups is about our emotional well-being, our emotional sense of self and what fulfills us. And what have we got? We've got the Ace. It's an opportunity for new beginnings. An opportunity for new beginnings. You can't have new beginnings without endings. You can't have endings without releasing things. So let's get on and release anything and everything that we know right now we don't need to be carrying forward emotionally. Give yourself permission to let it all go. And the best way to let it all go sometimes is to have a big cry, sometimes is to have a big swear, but also to actually flip it. Celebrate. Celebrate what you've achieved, celebrate what you've got done, write down all the things you like to release, get yourself a little smudge stick, get yourself some candle, and let it all go. All right, let's see what the other card is that comes out here. Let me just turn up the sound so I don't get any more of that. Eight of Swords. I've had the Eight of Swords a lot, remember? Swords are our words and our thoughts. The Eight is reminding us that it takes hard work and effort, but it's well worth the effort to put that in, to think through who we are and what we're doing and how we're doing it. And then we get the Eight of Wands. Wands is how we see ourselves in the world. Now, there's two things to have a look at that, and that is that's quite an amazing pose. But the other thing about that pose is we don't have to pose, and we don't have to work that hard to pose. We can let all the posing go and bring it in when we need to bring it in, but not have it all the time so it just restricts our life, restricts our thoughts. So the Eights. It is hard work, but nothing good is claimed without hard work. And the hard work now is not the push-shove. The hard work now is the honesty and the release. Look at that, the Moon. Gentle reminder. The Moon. The Moon is about our spiritual lessons. It's also about just reminding us that we never know exactly what's going down all the time, and we don't have to. And the other part of the Moon is it just reminds you that things go in cycles, and we are governed and influenced by those cycles. King of Swords. All right, people, let's get control of our thought process. Yeah? Let's get control of our words. Let's get control of the energy that we're associating with our thoughts and our words, because that's where the power comes from. So it's not just blah, blah, blah. It's the emotional attachment to the words that give you the power to manifest, the power to create energetically, and the power to bring in all the things that we need energetically. Right, a couple of things have just flipped that I missed. Oh, Kings. It's all about getting control of yourself. King of Pentacles, little reminder. You're in charge of the moves on the checkerboard. So there's some things in your life, yes, I know you're not in control of, but there's a lot of things that you are. And you are in control of how you manage your life. And the King is saying, get it together, manage your life. And manage you within your life, not the other way. 10 of Swords. The 10 of Swords is an ending. And it's an ending to a thought process or a paradigm. It's an ending to how we perceive something. And this is saying it's time to change. It's time to change your thought processes about something that's been holding you back. And I think it's a really important thing to do. Oh, and they're asked for one more. Let's just see what that one more is. I love when they ask me for one more, then they play with me and I won't release the card. Then it flies out. Oh, the Emperor. Be in charge without the need to control everything. There you are. It's time to release so we can heal. And that's what this new moon's all about. All right. Thank you. See you soon. Bye.